Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Ricardo again. I think what I want to talk about is playing it safe. I know I kind of made a lot of videos today, but kind of be expecting that for me, kind of like play a lot of videos at one time and then go weeks without playing a video. So, obviously, because I'm probation, I can only smoke weed for limited, very low key. So once I do, I get inspiration, divine knowledge, and wisdom. But I do have some divine intuition and knowledge for you today, and that's playing it safe. When I look back at my old life, I always thought that I was like the type of person that plays it safe, but in the back of my mind, I guess, in the back of my head, I was always pissed off at myself for not taking action, also. But realize that you're not missing out much by playing it safe. And if you think that you are missing out much by playing it safe, then play aggressively and see what happens. So that's kind of like my take to go along with it. But speaking of my previous video when I was talking about masturbation, definitely playing it safe. I went a week without masturbating, and I masturbated last night. Just like, ironically, I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers, and he said, like, you treat yourself by doing something bad. He was explaining how, like with his kids or something, like they did some good deeds, and then he treated them to like McDonald's or like some ice cream or something like that. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you treat them to something bad? But it's like that's just the way it is. It's kind of like what happened last night. I see masturbation as a bad thing. Well, um, mm, not like I see it as a bad thing, but I see it as like not something I would like, celebrate, to masturbate. You know what I mean? Like that's not a good like celebration to me. Anyways, long story short, I did it and I woke up this morning, smoked some weed, and I felt like kind of like this uncertainty about about like I was playing I had an intuition to play some like rap music, some like, and I was listening to it and I was like, oh man, it feels like really uncertain. All of a sudden I started to really back in, and I started to feel like more at peace and more at home. I'm more at peace, but I've started to feel like all this like weight that's been lifted off my shoulders, and all of a sudden I started manifesting like chicks, like in cars, like looking at me and stuff like that. It's on like older chick was like, look, I was on the bus and she's like looking at me in the car, which is kind of cool. I mean, I didn't tell nobody because everyone would think like, oh, you trying to get that old chick. So that's what I mean by playing it safe, just recognizing um, the decisions that you have, and just like realizing which one's a safe decision. Because right now in this timeline space reality that we're in right now, like people like aren't ready for for our crazy thoughts, our crazy wishes, like the way that we view life. Like life is not ready for that yet, but people aren't ready for that. So you have to like really like tone it down and realize that you actually be doing service to yourself and other people by realizing whatever you're thinking or feeling, is it going to benefit people, or is it going to freak them out, or like really think about that, like whatever you're thinking and feeling. So um, definitely, I guess the flip side of this is like, don't care what other people think, but you should care about what other people think. Not to the point where it like demoralizes you and doesn't make you make a decision, but you have to keep that in mind with decision making when making a decision. So if you have a thought, think about like, what would be the consequences of that thought if I acted out? How would people not perceive me, but what would be the consequences? Like, what would it look like? And if you can't imagine what it would look like, then try it out and see what happens, and you'll see exactly what it looked like. So that's kind of like my two bits what I have so far today, and I've been posting a lot, which is probably pretty good, but just wanted to give you that knowledge. So hopefully you can take that in your back pocket, and take care. Have a good one.